What's going on YouTube? My name is ginj-tcg or Chris, and today I'm back with another Meta Deck Monday. And for today's deck, I am going to be playing the Ancient Box deck. And then what I'm playing is from Pieman in last night's, what was it, the Tournament of Doom? Let me just double check that it was that one on Limitless. No, it was the Redacted Masquerade, number 13, closed list. But now, obviously, the lists are open, the tournament ended. So I've got Pieman's list here. It's Pieman 13575. If you're watching this video, yo, you would go, because you won with a crazy Ancient Box deck. And just for, like, comparison, this was mine. I'm playing, Walking Wake, Iron Bundle, Secret Box, all Dark Energy. Homie went 10-1, took down a 211-player tournament with Koraidon and Ancient Drum. So it's definitely a very different playstyle than the one I'm definitely more familiar with and more used to, but I think it's amazing, and I definitely wanted to give it a shot for today's video. I mean, I think Ancient Box has been tearing up the format since Worlds. I mean, if you look on, like, the overall stats with tournaments and 50 more people, it's like the 7th, 8th most played deck, and it's won the most amount of tournaments with 50 or more people since Worlds has ended. So it's definitely kind of falling in that category of like a meta deck overall, and I am super excited to get going with it today. I'm taking a more low-key approach. We're going to be playing like the base rarity cards, just keep it nice and simple for today. I didn't sleep too well last night. For any of you that didn't see my post, I actually just adopted a cat, and her name is Happy, and she is in my most recent post. You can just go to like the community tab on my page and check her out if you want. She's adorable. So, I don't know, I just woke up, I was so worried about her, and I couldn't really sleep, so I've been up for a while. So when I logged on this morning, because I didn't get to record last night's video, the video last night for today, because I was hanging out with my newly adopted roomie and best friend, I'm gonna be recording it early this morning. So I'm like, you know what? We're just going to take it easy, we're going to play it simple, going to keep the rarity low, and we're going to just have some fun with some Ancient Box decks. I mean, I've showcased this deck before if you're new to kind of what it does. You use the Vengeance Fletching attack as your primary attacker, and you're trying to one-shot everything if possible, but this deck, I mean, you're playing a single prize deck. You have no problems two-shotting anything. So if that's what you got to do against, like, Retrieval spamming a Rolling Iron, as long as you're two-shotting them, you're chilling. So Vengeance Fletching, 70 damage plus 10 more damage for each ancient card in your discard pile, which obviously isn't insane. Like, it doesn't seem that shocking initially until you pair it with 12 different ancient Pokemon. You got Awakening Drum, which is not something I normally played in the past, but I definitely like and play. Vessel, you got 4 copies of. You also got 4 copies of Guidance, Sadas, and Ancient Booster Capsules. So you can really start to ramp up the damage with this deck. And I think overall, its hardest matchup has been what, like Charizard, Dragapult, like those big stage 2 decks, especially Charizard, I think is a lot rougher than Dragapult's. But past that, I mean, this deck kind of swings well into everything, and this is a bit of a different Ancient Box list than I thought. I've been watching people play, I've played myself, I've been testing myself for Baltimore, so I definitely wanted to give it a shot and see if Awakening Drum is the way to play it. So, I mean, without further ado, let's jump into today's video and see if we can go 3-0 with Pieman's Ancient Box list. Welcome to match number 1. Both my opponent and I took a mulligan, and I just realized, actually, I'm not really using the keyboard, so I can move my mic up a little bit. That should help with the sound. I should probably be a little bit clearer. But yeah, our opponent's playing Gardevoir. We both took a mulligan, so we kind of saw what we're playing. And I chose to go second because with this deck, it's not super hard to get a turn 1 attack. And at least do a little bit of chip damage if you can't get a KO. But you know what? They've only got 70 HP. All we need to do is set up a Roaring Moon, which we kind of have initially in our hand. So our hand is... it's decent. It's all right. I mean, I'm probably going to draw, and I'm going to Pokestop before everything. Because I really don't want to get rid of all my Ultra Balls and get rid of a bunch of Vessels. Actually, I could definitely get rid of a Booster Capsule. You know what I could do? Let's actually get rid of one of these first. Alright, now that I drew that, that's actually a really good card to discard with Vessel. So let's try to do that. And we got 1 copy of Fighting Energy, so on Koraidon we can use Primordial Beatdown, which is kind of sweet. And I just kind of want to load up the hand with energy. And maybe Ultra Ball now, get Greninja. I probably should have prize checked, but let's then. I'm actually not going to use Pokestop first. I probably should have thought about what I'm actually going to do before I just started yapping. But here we are. Okay. So with this hand, I want to keep 1 energy to manual attach, but I also want to get Greninja so I can just Sada guarantee the KO. So I think I'm going to get rid of Ultra Ball and energy here, and then take Greninja just to dig a little bit deeper. However, I don't want to Greninja now. I think I want to Pokestop next, because the chance of hitting an item should be greater than hitting a non-item, like right now. And then when I Greninja after, my chances should be a little bit better of drawing into something that Pokestop would have originally discarded. I think I might be mathing that math wrong, and I definitely mathed it wrong. I mean, those cards didn't really help me right now. I mean, I guess I could have taken Koraidon, put an energy on it early, but nope, we were not able to. So, you know what? Let's just attach the energy. Let's rip the Sada. I'm not going to be able to get 2 energy in play with 2 Roaring Moons. Of course, I would draw Roaring Moon next, but that's all right. I got gear for next turn, so we should be all right. And we're swinging 280 because of weakness. So, wow, we're actually already swinging 140. That's insane, dude. Right there, off what I would say a decent turn 1. You know, not a perfect one, not an awful one by any means. We're already 2-shotting Lugia V-Star, Regidrago V-Star, and any V-Star like that. So that's kind of what I mean where I say this deck ramps up so fast, because we got, I mean, just a whole bunch of Ancient cards in discard off rip, which is sweet. And Ancient Booster Capsule is not really something I'm too concerned with getting against Gardevoir. And I feel like they could one-shot me easy enough anyways, and I'd rather just discard them and just try to ramp up as much damage as possible, because if I can get a Boss KO on Gardevoir EX and take 2 prizes, we are live. And then our chances of winning, I think, skyrocket. But this is, I think, one of the decks, like if you're an avid Guardy hater, this might be one of the best decks for you to play. Them getting rid of Turo is pretty sweet. Just because you're trading 1 prize for 1 prize all the time, but it's so much easier for us to attack on our first turn going second. So I like Roaring Moon a bit more into Gardevoir than a lot of the other decks I play. You know, like if this was a more Gardevoir-dominated meta, I think Roaring Moon should, or excuse me, Ancient Box, because Roaring Moon is its own deck. Ancient Box should see a lot more play. But it still does amazing into this like hyper aggressive, you know, basic EX aggro format we're in now. So we'll see if our opponent's got a good follow-up. They got 8 cards in hand. We don't play really any, I don't remember the exact list. I guess I could pull it up. I should still have it pulled up. I don't think we have any hand disruption, so his card hand will probably stay as big as he leaves it forever. Yeah, we play 0 hand disruption. So that's similar to the one I play, which is good. So, you know, he'll have 50 cards in hand, and he could Iono us or Unfair Stamp us whenever he wants, and that's okay. I mean, there's not really much I can do about that. Oh, man. Actually, it's a little difficult. I don't want to Vessel anything in this hand away. I guess I could get rid of Counter Catcher. The goal is to be ahead on prize cards through the rest of the game, since we're just attacking with single prizers. And honestly, we'll get the Fighting Energy in the discard, because then I could use Sada, put the Fighting Energy on Koraidon, and that could legitimately help in this matchup. We really don't need to do an insane amount of damage for the rest of it, so let's just Vessel thin out the rest of the energy from the deck. And we want to be careful not to mill ourselves against Gardevoir as well. That is kind of a worry. It's going to be sitting in the back of my mind. I might hold the Guidance. I think I'm just going to rip the Pokestop and then just swing, because I know we're KOing Curlia. Yeah, we got 3 items there. That's huge, actually. Those are pretty sweet items. So, yeah, no, we'll just swing 170. There's no need to use Guidance. I mean, I could get a Sada. The reason I don't feel it's 100% necessary is because we have Dark Energy in hand, so, you know, if our opponent does take a KO, we could just manual attach and then swing, and we have gear now, so I can look for Sada that way as well. So overall, I feel like we're in a decent spot with this. Not super, super worried just yet. And there's our opponent. We'll Pokestop in some decent items, decent cards away. I mean, they lose Arven, that's pretty big. I don't know if they would use Arven. Maybe they would do it for Unfair Stamp, but they really just need to get their board set up. They didn't have as an aggressive turn 1 as they wanted. And I think that's another big advantage in like against the TM Evo build, is we choose to go second. So since I won the coin flip, I kind of forced them like, hey, you need all your buddy Poffins in hand right now, because if not, their board state's going to look like this, because we're swinging immediately. I mean, we're wasting no time swinging. So, you know, it definitely helps us a bit here. Monkey Dory could be a little pesky. You know, it could set up some Pokemon to get kind of beat down after enough turns, and there's the Unfair Stamp. Yeah, so this is, I think, the scariest part for the deck. If we could recover from this Unfair Stamp, I think we could walk through Gardevoir all right. And we got Pokestop, we got Top Deck, maybe we'll have Greninja, although if I draw an energy, I'll probably just attach it to Roaring Moon and just swing. I feel like that would work much better, and I apologize, 1 second. I just need to lower the temperature in my apartment. I can do it from my phone, but I'm just getting a little hot in here. Ugh, man, I'm sweating recording this video. Gotta lower the temperature a bit. Didn't even realize. So they're gonna Arven now. For what? I mean, they definitely have enough energy in discard, right? To use Gardevoir. Yeah, they do. They have plenty. Okay, so they could put 3 energy on Gardevoir, swing with Miracle Force, do 190. And that'll take the KO and then kind of put us in a situation where we need to recover. And this is the make or break point, I think, for every Ancient Box deck. There's always a point or two in every match where your opponent is going to Iono, Unfair Stamp, and you are going to have nothing in your hand. And if you can get out of it, and even if it's not a KO, if we could just attack this Gardevoir this turn, we'll be alright. And I'm pretty confident in our deck's capabilities at that point. However, if we don't top deck anything and we're kind of just sitting here doing absolutely nothing, yeah, no, it's definitely we're gonna be in way more trouble. Are they actually gonna go Drift Bloom here? I guess that makes sense. I guess it doesn't matter. We either got it or we don't on the top deck. I'm also gonna promote Roaring Moon. It's the easiest Pokemon for me to set up. And if I don't get it this turn, like if I don't get anything that could draw me out of it, that's kind of how it is sometimes, especially against a big hand disruption deck like Guardy. It hurts. But in terms of setting up everything, this active Roaring Moon is definitely the easiest to set up. So maybe I should have played Guidance there and kind of thinned a bit last turn. I was kind of I was trying... Whoa, wow. That was not English. I was trying to make sure I didn't deck myself out. And I might regret that a little bit now, since I've got no cards in my hand. Although, even if I played Guidance and, like, got Sadas or something like that, it's not like I could use it. So, you know, our hand still would have fallen down to 2. Maybe our deck would have been a little thinner, which could have helped, but, you know, we'll see. Hopefully, we can get ourselves out of this. How many Vessels have we played? Actually, Gear is amazing. Played 4 Vessels. Alright, yeah, so I got a Pokestop and hope I get some decent items there. That's perfect. Those are maybe the best things I could have asked for. We're going to play everything. We're going to try to thin the deck as much as possible. I really don't want either of these Pokemon on my bench, though. We got 3 Sadas in the deck left. That's pretty good. Okay. Alright. Let's play 1 Pokégear. Can I hit Sada? There it is. Alright, we'll be alright. And then I'm going to save this gear for next turn in case I get Iono'd or something like that again. I really don't feel like messing around. I guess I could have attached the Fighting Energy there. That's a banger of a hand. You know what else I'm going to do? I'm going to attach Ancient Booster Capsule. So if they set up with Gardevoir next turn, they have to use Munkidori onto the active to take the KO and not Greninja. And that should hopefully try to keep Greninja in play just another turn, which would be really nice. But they have to Iono this turn or we are going to be swinging hard into whatever they promote. And we are a comfortable 2 prize cards ahead, which is exactly the lead you want. Against a deck like Gardevoir. I mean, man, this deck is going to comebacks. But as long as we can keep the pressure like we are now, we'll be alright and we'll make it through. And, side question again for anyone still watching at this point, because I know it's a little early, so hopefully I still caught you before you clicked out after the first video, or after the first match. I don't know if anyone's cat owner, but just some general tips on cats. I mean, if you have any, be greatly appreciated, because I am a new cat owner. I know I said in the intro that I adopted a new cat. I've never owned a cat in my life. My mom has a couple cats, so I've been around a cat. I mean, not very long. I think she's had a couple cats for, 4 years now? So I'm familiar with cats. I mean, I'm cool with them, but I'm not, like, an experienced cat owner by any means. I grew up with dogs. I'm a big dog guy. So, you know, I'm just trying to figure my way around all this cat stuff. So, I mean, right now, it's only been 1 night, but she didn't eat any food I left out for dinner, so I switched it out in the morning. And I didn't know if that was super normal. I mean, I'm taking her to the vet this week anyways, just for the, you know, new adoption checkup. I'm just gonna, you know, I got a list actually right here with all the vets near me that I could take her to, and my first visit is free, you know, just to get her settled and learn everything about a vet, because I've never taken an animal to a vet before. So, you know, that's something I'm doing now, and our opponent just concedes, so that's huge. But yeah, I mean, if that's normal, and, you know, at least for the first couple days, I mean, I was looking it up, and it seemed like, you know, for the first day or two, it's more of a normal thing with cats, but it's worrying me. It's worrying my heart. So if that's not something to be concerned about yet, and you know that for a fact, please, any information or tips you could give about bonding with the cat, more than playing with them, petting with them, you know, just spending time with the cat would be appreciated, because I'm trying my best. But if you guys got some magical tips, that'd be awesome as well. But our opponent just scoops there. I mean, I guess knew they didn't have any hand disruption, they didn't have any great way to make that comeback, and they just said, you know what, my time could be spent better elsewhere. I'm just gonna pick it up and move on, and that is fine by me. That is 1-0 for Pinman's Ancient Box. Let's see if we can guarantee the positive record in next match. Welcome to match number 1. We did take 1 mulligan, and our opponent chose to go first. And we open up it's not a great hand, but it'll do. And we're seeing a snow run, so Frost Ice isn't going to affect our deck too bad. I mean, obviously Flutter Mane's it'll rip through, but oh, it's Item Lock. Yeah, it's a fun one. That one hurts. That one hurts a lot. I saw that deck getting a little bit more popular. I mean, obviously it's like very few and far between, but I have seen a couple people actually playing that online, and in a few in Japan, I saw a few people actually running that list of tournaments and doing pretty well with it. So maybe we're nearing the time where Venolast can start cooking, and this hand is really not what I wanted to see, but we'll make it work. Because they're going to put us under Item Lock, honestly, I'm just going to Ultra Ball, Wait, Counter Catcher, and Flutter Mane. I feel like for the most part, I'm never going to be able to use Counter Catchers, so I don't really see a huge point in getting it. I don't want to Ultra Ball away the rest from the hand, so I think I'm just going to Pokégear now. Hope I hit something. Sada's cool. However, doesn't help us much, so I'll just pass and hope we can draw out of this hand. I mean, this one might hurt a bit. This one might legitimately hurt a bit. This is really not the hot start we wanted, you know, and this is, I guess, where Ancient Box could fall off a little bit, but you could say the same thing about literally any deck. Oh, when it bricks, it bricks. There's nothing I can do. That's what a brick is. So, you know, I'm not too worried about it too much. I think it's a testament to a deck if you could draw out of brick well, and that speaks a lot more to the deck than just bricking in general or stuff like that. Obviously, if it's bricking a lot, there's an issue with consistency and maybe the general build of the deck. Maybe there's too much in it, too many different moving parts and things you want going. But overall, I don't worry too much about a deck bricking here and there. And Ancient Box has won way too many tournaments recently for people to be like, yeah, no, it's just a bricky deck. I don't think that's a fair assessment. So what am I going to do here? I mean, we're locked out of items. I got nothing to play, so we're just going to pass, give them the KO on Flutter Mane, and I'm praying I get a Pokestop top deck. I can then use Pokestop to get rid of 2 energy, and then I can, oh, I don't know, okay. And then I was going to say Sada to Roaring Moon, draw into an energy, manual attach, swing, and we'll figure it out from there. Awesome hand if I could use items. But the lack of items make this hand shockingly poor. Definitely don't help much. The Vessel is sweet. Vessel is like almost exactly what I wanted, except for the fact I still don't have access to items because Perplexing Powder. God, that's problematic. I don't want to get rid of the Ancient Booster Capsules because they confuse us, and I want to attack them every turn and just keep laying down the pressure. But, you know, here we are. So what do I want to take? Definitely Sada, and honestly give me another guidance. These are all useless. I'm not going to be using items, and actually, yeah, I can't even Nest Ball to get another Roaring Moon down. Okay, alright, that's fine. Each ancient Pokemon in play. It's an item actually as well, so I can't play Awakening Drum either. Oh, this hurts. Item Lock is not what this deck wants to see. Maybe it's time. Maybe it's time for Item Lock to truly shine in Venomoth. I feel like Venomoth is a pretty legit card. Like, I feel like there is genuine potential for it. And maybe with the way our format is so insanely aggressive right now, this is the best time to do it. So I'm going to get rid of Nest Ball, Flutter Mane, Vessel, Gear, and I guess we'll get rid of Drum. If I get out of Item Lock, I'm going to want to keep Pal Pad to get back supporters in case I go back in Item Lock and I need to keep my supporters, so I could get rid of pretty much all the items in my hand. They're not going to help me while I can't attack. Honestly, what I have to hope is I either top deck energy, like a Dark Energy, or I get a Dark Energy off Sada. If we could do that, we'll... Oh, I also need an Ancient Booster Capsule to get rid of the confusion. Okay, one piece of the puzzle has been solved. Can we get the other piece of the puzzle? We can't. That's okay, though. That's alright. So we at least got this guy down. I'm not going to play the Roaring Moon just yet. I'm not too worried about getting KO'd at the moment. We're just going to flip a coin, see if we can attack. And perfect, we can. Oh, thank gosh. That's huge. But we're still confused, I believe, even though we did flip heads to attack. So once we get the Ancient Booster Capsule, it'll heal our status condition, prevents us from getting affected by any further status conditions, and that'll allow us to attack every single turn. And I think here's the point where it's going to be a make or break turn for my opponent. They're either going to get a Venonat or a Venomoth down, and they're going to just start laying on the damage, and there's the Salvatore. Yeah, they're going to start laying on the item lock, keep that confusion up, or we're going to swing, and at that point I think we kind of would have just ran away with it. But luckily we got guidance in hand, so they're going to put Perplexing Powder for another 60. putting us in the KO range, but if we get an Ancient Booster Capsule... Oh, actually, Jamming Tower does stop it from working, huh? It's tricky. Definitely tricky. Alright, let's bench the Roaring Moon. I didn't really process how good Jamming Tower is going to be in this, because this is going to do nothing now. So let's just take these guys. Start setting up my other Roaring Moon, and hope I can guidance into something a bit more useful than what I got. This is scary. If this flips tails, we're cooked. Alright, the reason I'm not playing Ancient Booster Capsule as well, it doesn't work. Jamming Tower's in play, so I'm just going to hold it in my hand and pray I flip 4 heads. Huge. Oh my god. We actually might be able to clutch up this match now because of that. I'm not even joking. Like, we legitimately might be able to just start sweeping from this point. Because now we can use item lock. There is no way that I know of that with 1 card in their hand and a top deck, they can get in another Venomoth in play, manual attach an energy, and swing to KO. So they're going to get 2 Venonats here. That's fine. I'm not worried about that. Because as long as I can get a Pokestop in play and just kind of get rid of this Jamming Tower, I can heal up this Roaring Moon and I can just keep attacking. So we're also going to take full advantage. Oh, they're going to Cleffa. That makes sense too. I could Gear. Go for Boss. If I could take out their only Venonat, that would just buy us more time to do our thing and keep cooking. So let's see what I can do. Okay, we definitely want to thin as much as possible. Let's get rid of Flutter Mane. Just, it's never going to see play. Really don't have a big use for it. I'll take all the energy out of the deck at this point. Definitely want to just play every item possible. I'm also very tempted to play Greninja to help draw. Although they could just boss stall it. We only got 2 stops in the deck. I really want to get a stop down though. Let's do it. I got Penny, so I could always wait to get Penny and then just Penny pick up Greninja. We got no energy in discard. Yeah, well that's gonna change. I'm gonna put a fighting energy in discard. No, we'll put a dark energy in discard, and then if I get Sada, I can just put the dark on Roaring Moon. That'll just help a bit more. We get boss now. We 100% boss now. Actually, no. You know what I could do? We're still confused though. Oh man. Oh boy. The confusion actually legitimately hurts a lot. Can I... If I get Penny, though, they just boss up Greninja, then we have to keep energy in the deck. I could retreat to guarantee the KO. I don't trust myself enough to flip 3 coins and get heads. What do I get? Sada. Alright, actually, we could cook with Sada, because I could set up this Roaring Moon and retreat this one comfortably. And I know we're kind of wasting energy with this play, but I think it's best for us to do that. Just to guarantee the KO. I just want to keep playing as much pressure as possible. Actually, that somehow works. Maybe even better. Let's just play the Pokestop. Get rid of that stadium. Let's put on the Ancient Booster Capsule. Heal ourselves from the status condition. With a hand like this, I am... What am I going to do? I could Pal Pad back to Research. Or, yeah, to Sada's Vitality. Excuse me, not Research. Wrong Professor card. Let's do that. Those are going to be the most clutch supporters for us, just to keep energy cycling. And do I play Koraidon? I actually don't think I really want to. I could use Night Stretcher. I don't have any energy in discard, though. I think we're just going to swing 190 here. Our opponent most definitely could put us under item lock again, so Night Stretcher is going to fall once more. But if they don't get another Venonat down and I just KO their active, we'll be alright. And they're swinging 60. So they also need Tool Jammer to shut down our... tool, and then swing to KOS. So they need a few things. They need manual attach, evolution, jamming tower, and more Venonats. They got the Venonats oh, they don't have the Venonats covered. They have another Snow Run. Oh, they have the Venonat hand. Alright, yeah, they got the Venonat covered. They got the Snow Run covered as well. Okay, so they got a full bench. Our Greninja is going to start taking heavy damage, but I didn't mind playing just one ability Pokemon just to help me draw a little bit deeper. And as y'all saw, I think I absolutely needed that play. Choose 5 cards to discard. Well, you're going... Y'all gotta go. Really don't want to get rid of another Roaring Moon. I'm going to get rid of a Guidance. We got 16 cards left in the deck. I feel like a lot of the stuff we need is left in the deck. After one Guidance, it should set me up nicely enough to just get going. That is an annoying card, though, in a deck like theirs. I love it. I love it so much. Maybe I should revisit it. I haven't played that deck. God, what? My channel's been up for maybe 2 months. And it's been about a month and a half since that was one of the first videos I made, was a Venolast deck, someone called it in my Discord, and I loved that name ever since they said it. So they're going to Perplexing Powder here. They're not going to KO me, and I'm not going to be affected by a special condition, so I'm going to have the opportunity to just swing again with Roaring Moon, and I think that's kind of the break we needed, you know. Also, they only got 2 Frostlass involved, and we could win theoretically in like 3 turns. I'm gonna guidance here. I really want to just start setting up as many Pokemon as I can. Let's 100% take this, and let's take a Sada as well. Want these 2 cards for sure. We can finish the game with 3 Roaring Moons, for sure. I'm also gonna Capsule this guy now in case homie plays Iono. Then I don't have to worry about confusion here, and then we'll swing 250. I would look at, we're already swinging 250. I mean, yes, we have 9 cards left in the deck, but we've gotten this far relatively quickly without items. This deck with items? Oh my god. Oh my god. It is not hard to get these big numbers. To take these like big Okos, especially on like basic EXs that dominate the format right now, it is not an issue for this deck. And it's like, okay, yeah, we don't have much HP. They KO us in return. And, okay, you're allowed to. I'm taking 2 prizes for your 1. You know, I'm not too worried. I've talked about that a lot in my other Ancient Box video. It's such a strong deck. It's such a strong deck. And I think this is kind of what we needed for a single price deck to make it stand in the format. And I feel like overall, the community hates this deck a lot less than Lost Box, like single prize, just Lost Box in general, from what I've seen. Like, a lot of players I've met really don't like playing against Lost Box decks. I feel like I don't see that same negative energy about this one. I personally never cared. I liked Lost Box. I like playing against Lost Box. I think a lot of the players are very smart players, make a lot of really fun plays. They open up my mind to just different lines that I didn't see. So I never had too much of an issue with Lost Box to begin with. But I know, like, a lot of my friends, a lot of people in the gaming stores I've gone to, just people in general, I feel like there's some sort of negativity associated from, not all, and not necessarily the majority, but a lot of people, you know, in general, like a good portion of the community didn't like Lost Box or doesn't like Lost Box. And I feel like this Ancient Box deck doesn't have that same type of negative energy associated with it. I'm also really tempted to just full heal my active. I think I'm going to, actually, and just swing. Although, you know what, I don't really have to. I could keep Penny in case I go for a Ball Saw, because then I got 2 way. Yeah, no, we're not gonna Penny up the active and heal it, because we've got 1 prize left now. If they don't Iono, which, I mean, they just played it. If they get it off the top deck, okay, I'll cope. You know, they can KO us, or they could try to Ball Stall Greninja, although they'll just KO with Frostlass. That would be interesting. But I could Penny Greninja up was kind of where my headset was, where my head, obviously my headset's on my head, where my head was at. So I think we just got game on board / hand. Like, we got game in hand for sure. I don't think they Carmine. There's nothing they could do at this point. They could have Iono'd, but at this point, there's nothing they could do that could really take us out. Blood Moon Ursaluna, that's fine. If they KO my active, I one-shot Blood Moon Ursaluna. So I'm not sweating that one too much either. I think we'll be okay. I could even rip Pokestop if I needed 1 more card, depending if they maybe put a Bravery Charm or something like that on Blood Moon Ursaluna. That would be a fun play. Because it would be pretty hard to KO at this point, but I'm pretty sure since they just took the KO there, we got game. So that's going to be guaranteed positive record for Pieman's Ancient Box deck. We haven't been able to use Awakening Drum yet. Last match because of the early concede, and this match because of item lock. So hopefully in the 3rd match, we'll be able to get it going. Oh, and they took 20 damage there too. Yeah, no, Blood Moon Ursaluna's cooked. Absolutely cooked. We're swinging 270. We're swinging already for 1-shot KO, plus the 20, 290. Not bad. Not bad at all. That's a solid game number 2 for us. I was scared, I'm not going to lie. I was very scared going into that matchup, especially because we didn't have like the hottest of starts, but hey, we made it work perfectly. We kept our cool, and we were able to walk out with the victory. So let's get into match number 3 and see if we could clutch up the 3-0 record, the perfect record, with Pieman's Ancient Box deck. Welcome to match number 3. Our opponent took a mulligan and chose to go first. Hand like this, they could be playing literally anything. I mean, this could be... You got Charmander sleeves. It legitimately could be Charizard. Like, those are all cards Charizard has in their deck, but I mean, yeah, it's the Lord only knows. Charmander sleeves could be smacked onto anything. It's not like it's Charizard exclusive, and it is. We led Flutter Mane, which I was hoping it was Charizard, and they led Rotom or something like that, and then I would have shut down the ability, but it does not seem we will get that lucky, which is fine. And our hand isn't phenomenal, but this is also one of the hardest matchups. So actually, that might be really bad, huh? If this is one of the hardest matchups and we got a rough hand, I feel like we want to get going as fast as possible. Whew. Wow. Man, yeah, that little sleep is catching up with me. That was a big yawn there, and my throat is dry, so I need a drink. Gotta get some H2O in my system so I can get ready to talk. Also, yeah, I wanted to mention as well, today is actually my first day of classes for graduate school. So officially from here on out, I'm going to make it a goal of mine to post 4 to 5 videos. Counting a stream will be included in that, but that's my general goal most weeks. There's going to be some weeks that's going to be too tall in order, like during big testing weeks and stuff like that, and I will try to communicate that stuff as clearly as possible for anyone watching, just to try to help out with people following along. Oh my god, what do I need here? I need so many different things. We got another guidance, so I luckily don't need that. I think I'm just going to go Dark Energy just to try to slowly set up. I could Ultra Ball, get Greninja here. Maybe we do that. Just dig as much as possible, as fast as we can, because we need Sada, really, anyways. Those are some good cards to get, like, you know, those are some good cards we wanted in our hand that are now in discard, is what I'm trying to get at. And we did not get that lucky, so I'm just going to Ultra Ball away. Actually, we could Pokestop. Now, I'm going to Ultra Ball away, Counter Catcher, Flutter Mane. I want to get Greninja out. I want to draw a little bit more with Greninja. First, I'm going to Pokestop before Greninja. And then hopefully I'll Greninja into something a little bit better. That would have been the perfect time to just rip Greninja first. Okay, it's alright. It's alright, we'll make it work. Let's Nest Ball. Let's thin the deck as much as possible. Let's take out another Roaring Moon. I don't really mind benching Koraidon. I'm going to wait on that. It does two-shot Charizard nice. If we could get it fully set up, that's a solid. Pokégear, Rod, solid cards to draw into because I really need Sada next turn. But we're just going to pass. Wow, man, I need to get like a tea or something. I'm actually not a coffee guy. Fun fact about me, I hate the taste of coffee. I actually can't stand the taste of coffee at all. But I've started drinking tea a little bit, and I think I definitely need a tea because I had a long night and I am more tired than I think I realized when I started this recording. I would have had tea first. Like while I was playing, you know, I got a nice little cup holder on my desk, and I would have had that while I was playing and talking and whatnot. But yeah, I didn't know I was this tired, so it's kind of just hitting me now. I guess it makes sense. I've been up for like hours at this point, and it is very early to try to get the recording out. Honestly, it still probably won't be. It'd still probably be up a little later. I try to get my recordings out by 11. But because I didn't record last night, I tried to wake up early, record the video, edit it, and then upload it, which takes, honestly, longer than editing it, and almost as long as it does for me to record, because it's not like it takes very long to record. I mean, it's, what, 45 minutes? And then I've got to download it to my computer, then upload it to YouTube. It's a mess. It's an absolute mess. And I've been doing this for a couple months, so I feel like I've gotten a lot better. I've gotten a flow of this stuff. I feel like I'm a bit more confident as a YouTuber, but there's still some challenges I face, and so some ups and downs I'm still like working through. Like, I know I'm not the best editor. I'm not very good at figuring out the perfect audio either. That's definitely, I think, my weakest point is figuring, like, as a YouTuber, is figuring out my audio settings and the balance between me talking in this microphone and the music in the background. Because the music, like, when I put it in, it's so insanely loud, it's not even funny. And I don't know if I've found like the perfect amount to lower it. Oh, they play Duskull. Okay, so some Charizard lists, I was waiting for this. I was waiting to see before I started yapping about it. Some Charizard lists are actually opting to not play the Dusknoir line anymore. And just playing like Radiant Charizard only as their single prizer and falling back onto that a lot. Which I like, actually. It's kind of a fun. I think that's the most consistent way to do it. And I haven't seen the most amount of success from having Dusknoir in it. But when you use Dusknoir against, like, our Radiant Greninja, shuts us down. Dusknoir against Greninja, Iono, this deck is cooked. And I think that's part of the reason why the matchups are so hard. So we don't have... Actually, we have a decent bit of ancient cards in the discard pile. Let's rip Sada? No, let's rip Pokestop first. We got Sada in hand. And then we'll do Sada after. Okay. That's actually not... Wow, I just dropped a bunch of cards. I'm always shuffling cards. I think it's like just under the camera. Just dropped a bunch of them. But that's solid. We got rid of an energy and somehow got 2 Pokégears. Because now I can Sada onto both Roaring Moons. And pray I get an energy to... Oh, that works. It works by the skin of our teeth. and we'll get a couple energy here. So let's take these, actually. Let's take a dark and a fighting. I'm going to not bench Koraidon. I'm actually just going to Radiant Greninja away the fighting energy, and then we can manual attach the dark. Just get it out of the deck. We got another Sada for next turn. That's awesome. That's so good. And if you're thinking, oh man, but you need dark energy and discard for like next turn to use Sada, yeah, I know, they're going to KO my active. It's part of the plan. Just let it rock. How much are we swinging for? Can we two-shot this Charizard? 170. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. I don't know why I was holding a little bit. Perfect math. It's a two-shot Charizard, and that's kind of exactly what we want to do. We're down a prize. Like, ideally, we wanted to take a prize card on our first turn, but we had a rough hand. We kind of whiffed the attack completely. Luckily, we're able to clutch up now and do just enough damage to start really applying the pressure. And here's the point where the Charizard player needs to be like, all right, I need to get a huge Turo play, like going immediately. That is the biggest thing for them. If they could Turo up their Charizard EX and evolve another Charizard EX right now, I think that's why this matchup is hard, because we're already two-shotting. We're almost never one-shotting a Charizard EX. Maybe the last one. The last attack, we might be able to hit 330. Without Kieran, though, it hurts. Like, my list plays Kieran for that reason. But if they can't set up another Charizard and Turo right now, they're going to have to try to force that later in the game. They could go Dusknoir. They could take out my Greninja, give me a prize. I actually wouldn't be too upset with that. Yeah, they're going to Curse Blast. I'll just Rod back Greninja. I'm not worried about that at all. And I'll Rod back the Roaring Moon TEF. Like, that's a perfectly fine trade for me. I'll take this prize, as long as they don't Iona right here. But we draw 5 cards, so it's also like, you know what? If that's the best chance I have of getting a playable hand would be 5 cards. So, not super upset about this. What I am a little worried about if they do Iona, we've got 2 Sadas in discard, 1 in hand. So if they Iona, there is almost no chance we're drawing the 4th Iona. I also don't even know if it's in the deck, because do I prize check? In real life, yes. When I play the video game, not even a little bit. And I probably should when I play TCG Live more, but I'm just like, I could, but I'm not. So, you know what, actually, we want to be careful about playing another Greninja, because if they're rotting back Dusknoir and trying to fall back on the Dusknoir bit, we could get hurt pretty bad. You know, if they could take like the last prize card in a really unfortunate manner like that. So, do we do this without Greninja? Maybe that? I don't know. They go Iona. Alright, yeah, now I'm worried. And we had 3 gears in hand as well. Like, this is bad news bears. This is bad news bears. Okay. It's alright, though. It's okay, though. So we know gear plus Sadas on the bottom. All of our gear plus Sada are on the bottom of the deck. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to Vessel away. Oh, they do KO because we've taken a prize card. Alright, yeah, I'm going to Vessel away Ancient Booster Capsule, because it really doesn't matter at this point. Draw out my energy, shuffle the deck. I'm then going to Pokestop, try to get a gear. And then I'm going to play Pal Pad after, put Sadas back in the deck, so gear has the best chance of hitting. And I don't have enough things to Ultra Ball away, and then more before I gear. So that's going to be our route from here on out, you know, to close out this match. They got 4 cards in hand, 5, and then they'll have a 6th top deck. Plus Pidgeot. So they've definitely got Rare Candy Charizard next turn. However, we've got the guaranteed KO. All we have to do is attach KO at the end of the day. So we're good. We're clear on that. That's awesome. Penny, not bad. Not exactly what I'm looking for, but I'll take it. So let's get rid of this guy, because they're one-shotting us no matter what for the rest of the game, so it's kind of whatever. Let's take out some energy, thin the deck, as well as shuffle it, then rip stop to try to get these gear. And boom! That's exactly... Oh my god, that's awesome. Sweet. Alright, so we got 2 energy in discard. I'm going to Pal Pad now. Let's get these Sadas back in the deck. Boss is kind of sweet, too. Let's take a Boss, because I think what we might have to do, because we're kind of behind here, I'm going to have to go, like, Boss KO on Rotom or Pidgeot. So I'm going to take 1 Sada, 1 Boss. We're just going to try to close it out with those guys. I could Night Stretcher, take back Greninja, but I don't think that's actually going to help me much, because then they could just Rare Candy Dusknoir. How many Rare Candies have they played? That's going to be the make or break. They've played 3. Oh. They've played 3, so they can only Rare Candy Dusknoir or Charizard. So you know what? I'm going to force them to make that choice. They have to evolve Charmander and Charmeleon unless they want to do this into Dusclops, in which case that buys me another turn, and that might be a deal breaker for them. So I'm going to put a third Dark Energy in the discard pile, and I'll rip a Vessel. We'll see what else is in the deck. Now we'll prize check. Now we're really thinning. Now we're really digging deep. So we got 3 Sada, 1 Boss. Oh, yeah. Oh, we're so live. I don't want to Ultra Ball this stuff away. Let's just Pokégear. Perfect. It's huge. It's so big, it's not even funny. Sada. Let's get these energies on the Roaring Moons. How many Roaring Moons are in discard? 1. Okay. We got Superior Energy Retrieval, which is not a bad card either to draw into. However, I'm not sure if I'm really going to need it. That being said, I'm just going to attach to the Roaring Moon here. We got 2 Roaring Moons set up, and swing 240. We're already on boss KO range on Rotom V, which is big. That's very, very important for this deck. And I'm curious how they follow up. Do they use their last rare candy on Charizard for this last Charizard here? I feel like they should. And if they do that, we got to dig for... How many Rod and Night Stretchers did we play? So we played 2 Night Stretchers, no Rods. How many does Pieman play? He plays 2 Night Stretchers and 1 Rod. So we got no more Night Stretchers. However, we do have Super Rod still in the deck. So that's... okay. Okay, that could definitely cook. We'll be alright. We will be alright. Sorry, got a text from one of my cousins who I haven't talked to in a little bit. They saw I got a little kitty. Or not a kitty, it's actually a cat. She's 2 years old. And she was texting me asking for pictures, so I gotta go send some pictures to more of the family after this of my new cat, of Happy. The goat, Happy. After Fairy Tail, in case any of you guys watch anime. Yeah, I named my cat after Happy from Fairy Tail. I love Happy. I'm so obsessed with Happy. The funniest character, best sidekick character ever. It's just the perfect comedic relief in the best ways possible. And they got Radiant Charizard down. Honestly, I'm not even upset about getting KO'd from Radiant Charizard, because what we have to do, we have to KO something and then boss up this Rotom, and they get the unfair stamp. So yeah, we're in danger. They really did hit that off Pokestop. I noticed that. I just didn't say anything. I kind of forgot after the text from my cousin. But we got a legit hand to follow up. We could Vessel away our top deck, take out some energies, rip Greninja, rip Pokestop, play Gear. Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it. They get the Super Rod back. Okay, we also do need to find our own Super Rod. So what's the proper order to do things? I think we Gear last, always. We try to do as much thinning before Gear as possible. So I think we go Vessel, Stop, Gear. Vessel, take out the energy, rip the Pokestop, try to thin out any items or any Flutter Manes or Koraidons that are still in the deck, stuff like that. And then rip the Gear. The only way that changes is if I like top deck Rod or Sada. That would be the only way this plan changes. And they use their last rare candy here. Okay. So they're down all their rare candies. You know, if we just played like Team Devolution, we could probably like walk through them. We probably wouldn't find it, but it's possible. I mean, it's all 4 rare candies. You can't really see. My face cam is like perfectly covering it, but 4 rare candies are in the discard pile. And they got Dusclops now. Okay, so they're going to try to win next turn. For sure. This is why I worried about playing Greninja. Maybe that Greninja was a mistake. However, that Greninja might also be the only reason I can try to clutch us up. Because they got 2 set up Pokemon. This isn't good. We might even have to boss up Dusclops. Although, you know what? If I could boss up Rotom and KO it, we get Sada. Actually, wait, yeah. If I boss up Rotom and KO it, then they just swing KO us for game. Right? Oh, no, they have 2 prizes left. So actually, you know what? If we could get boss's orders, maybe we don't play Sada. Maybe we dig for boss. How many Sada do I have left in the deck? We got 1 in hand. That was not what I wanted to top deck. That was like actually the worst card to top deck. We have 2. We got 1 Sada left in the deck. I'm actually going to get rid of this. I need boss's orders this turn. I think that's the only way I could get through this. We got 1 boss, 1 Sada left. Yeah, and a whole bunch of items. So we'll definitely go stop Greninja, then Gear, and just hope we get a little bit lucky from here on out. All of our Sadas are gone. Every single one. Alright, let's get rid of an energy. That hurts. This hurt a lot. This is really, really not how I needed this to go. Let's Gear. Can we get a little lucky? Alright, so we got boss, but we don't really have a good follow-up because I have no more Sada. Don't play any Dark Patch. We're not swinging KO. Swinging 300. Even if I Ultra Balled stuff away, we'd get 310. I think our opponents got us a little cooked here. I could take out Pidgeot. Maybe they can't get Dusknoir. Although I can't even set up Pokemon, so that's awkward as well. I think we have to. I think we just take out their only Pidgeot. Tell them to figure it out without it. And swing. And then I don't know how we win this one, to be honest. If they have Dusknoir in hand, they just win. Because they could use Dusknoir. Actually, no. If they use Dusknoir, we tie. Because then they would... No, they would have to attack and Dusknoir at the same... Wait, actually, what? I'm so confused. This matchup is all over the place. This is... They KO us here. I got no more boss, though. And there's no way I could one-shot. There's no way I could set up a Roaring Moon this turn because I didn't have one on the bench to manual attach to last turn. If I had a Roaring Moon on the bench and I manual attached, I actually might have been able to clutch this up. I might have been able to do that, but I don't think I'll be able to now. How many counter catchers does the deck have? No, we don't. We can't play counter catcher. We're on the last prize card. Oh my god. Oh, please, Curse Blast. Yo, Curse Blast, swing with Charizard. You KO all my Pokemon in play. They Roxanne. Yep. Yeah, that's gonna be a very unfortunate checkmate for us because we had a legit go. We just could not get a bench Roaring Moon down. If we did though, if we got a Roaring Moon down that turn and manual attached, all we needed to do was find an energy, find superior energy retrieval, anything. Just find energy attached, swing. We might have been able to force a Charizard EX KO. We legitimately would have been really, really close. I'm curious if we could have forced it. I'm going to play through the turn to see how high I could have got. So we've got 310 damage right now because we were at 300. Roaring Moon got discarded, so now 310. I'm curious to see, would we have gotten... Okay, so we wouldn't Rod first. We go Stop first. And we get a whole bunch of things. Wow, actually, this would have been insane. If I didn't get that Sada, man. If I had another Sada in the deck, we could have gone Gear... Could have took this guy, forced a bunch of cards, probably found some energy, which we would have put in the deck with Super Rod. We legitimately might have had it. Although I didn't have a switch out. But I would have had this on the bench to promote swing. Oh, man, that's so close. So close. Oh, yo, this matchup is so takeable, but we sadly don't have it. I'm just going to scoop it up for our opponent. They had the just... all I would have done there is nothing. What, manual attached to Roaring Moon for them to swing with Charizard again? Like, you know, we were cooked. We were cooked. Well done from our opponent. I mean, that was down to the absolute wire. We just could not get Roaring Moon on the bench when we needed it most. And we had the energy in hand to manual attach as well. Yeah, we did everything we needed to. Solid game. I mean, this deck is awesome. I think this is absolutely the time for Roaring Moon. I think going into Baltimore Regionals, this is a deck that should 100% be on people's radar if it's not already. It's one you should 100% consider playing. It's fast. It's pretty straightforward. It's very strong. It's a ton of fun. And I think that's the biggest thing is this deck is actually so much fun to play. So yeah, I mean, I absolutely love this deck. I love this list of it. I couldn't get Awakening Drum in the showcase, which hurts, but I actually really do like it as a potential option. I think obviously the debate is between Prime Catcher or Secret Box. That random person who's going to put Awakening Drum, you're the GOAT. So just give it a shot, you know, play a deck in a little bit of a different way than others might, and you might have some more fun with it, you know. And this person went 10-1, won a 211 player tournament, so you can't even say it's that bad. He's at least consistent enough to do that with it. So love this list, love this deck, give it a shot. With that being said, stay epic. Peace.